Hello, I'm Anvil. This is my sidekick, Izzy.
Hello! And today we're going to be doing the Album of the Day monthly recap for July. We missed June, and we're sorry about that. But we're going to just briefly go over the awards, and if you want to see the full list of every album that we did, then go to
Instagram, dj.anvil.
Or just check the description, and we have an Excel document that we update daily with whatever album that we did.
Yay.
Alright, we're going to just briefly go over these.
We're going to start the awards
with the Longevity Award, whichever album's been out.
I totally remember discussing that.
For the longest, but still, it's good. And that goes to The Queen is Dead by The Smiths.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was insightful, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
My June is just a blur to me now.
It is now.
But yeah, that was a surprisingly good album.
Yeah. Then we had the funnest album, which went to Beautiful Life by Rick Astley.
Oh, yeah.
That's just a good album.
Yeah, it was a good
overall.
pop album.
It had just a lot of styles covered, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
But none of them were, too heavy or too upbeat. So most people could enjoy it. Then we went on to the Overachieving Award. So which one we either really didn't have too high expectations or we thought was going to be super good and it turned out it was perfect. And that went to London Calling, The Clash.
Oh, yeah, because that was a bite the bullet.
Yeah, but it did surprisingly well.
Yeah, it was a surprisingly enjoyable album for something that was on our, God, we don't want to listen to this album list.
Then we had what is the most genre specific, so what album would appeal to the least amount of people. And it was I Like Fun by They Might Be Giants. It was literally described as a kid's album. I think that sums it up.
Yeah, I think you'd have to be a kid or brain damaged.
Oh. Then we have our individual favorites. So mine was Here Come the Runts by AWOL Nation.
Uh-huh.
Yours was Somewhere in Time by Iron Maiden. And then Off Camera Amy's was Joshua Tree by U2.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Then we have our most surprising album. And this one, little spoiler alert, is not in a good way. It was Ancient Dreams in a Modern Land by Marina.
Ew.
Who previously was Marina and the Diamonds, who did amazing under that name. But then this album, it's...
I can't even listen to her music anymore.
No, it's bad.
It is bad. I think she hates me.
Now we have the best album for the masses, which also went to Beautiful Life, Rick Astley.
Oh,
just
yeah.
as we just mentioned. Went over a lot of genres, but nothing too heavy in either way. Then we have our most unique album, which went to, again, Here Come the Runts, AWOL Nation.
Yeah, I like that album.
That was a good one.
That was a fun one. Here Come the Runts.
That is... I'll just already say it. That also got the Best Album Overall award.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And finally, the worst album overall, and it was 'Cause I Love You by Lizzo.
Oh,
yeah. That was the first album I think we've had that we couldn't finish.
Couldn't finish it.
No.
I don't understand the popularity. I don't understand. I just don't get any of it.
And then Off Camera Amy's worst was De La Soul is Dead by De La Soul.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I think it was just too long and too wordy, as she would say.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why she's off camera or off microphone, as the case may be right now.
And now on to the actual month that we're supposed to be covering, the first week of July.
July.
Alrighty, before we start week 1, I realized that I forgot to mention that starting in June, we did the Random Year Challenge again, where we pull a random year from a box, and then we do an album from that year. If you want to see what year each album is, go to dj.anvil on Instagram to see.
There you go. Or Google it.
Either one works. Alright, to start week 1, we did Crazy Ex-Girlfriend by Miranda Lambert.
Oh, that was a fun album.
Angry Country, sung by Girl.
Angry Country Girl.
Angry Country Girl, yes.
I like that, yeah.
And then we did Skid Row.
Angry City Boy.
And then, very strong departure, we did Surfin' Safari by the Beach Boys.
Laid Back Surfer Dudes.
Then we did Technology is a Dead Bird by Mars Argo.
Steaming Pile of Poo.
Oh.
It wasn't good.
It was not that good. It was very artsy.
And when you work in the backstory, it just becomes even worse.
Yeah. The person related to Poppy, sort of. There's a lot of YouTube videos covering that if you're interested.
Well, Google it.
Google it. Then we did Kill the Moonlight by Spoon.
Ooh, that was a fun album. I like that one.
Yeah. I barely remember it, but I remember that I specifically said at the car wash, I said, I want to listen to it more because I feel like I missed a lot.
Yes, we did. We listened to it on the way to the car wash that day.
Then we did Sounds of Silence, Simon and Garfunkel, a classic.
Yes.
And then we went on to another classic.
Two folksy
sort of.
dudes.
I don't know. Would you consider it a classic? Superfly by Curtis Mayfield.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, the movie definitely was in the classic field. I think the soundtrack has been largely forgotten, which is a damn shame. Cause
it's very good. It got a 10.
Yeah, it did. It got a 10 because it's funktastic.
Yeah. And then the best of the week was Sounds of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, hands down.
Classic album.
Yeah.
Everybody should hear it.
But there were a lot of that. I mean, the Skid Row, Superfly, I dare say even Crazy Ex-Girlfriend are all worth putting into a rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On to week 2.
Week 2!
Week 2. It started with Thriller, Michael Jackson.
Yeehaw.
I don't think this album needs any explanation.
No.
I See You by the XX. It was just kind of an alternative album. Not like too rock, not too pop. Just in the middle.
Yeah. I Dare You's a great song, though.
Then we did The Cars. We've done a lot of self-titled recently.
Yeah, I thought The Cars was going to be better. I used to love The Cars.
Oh.
And, well, it's not that I don't like it anymore, but it's kind of faded into history, I guess, for me.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, you know.
Then we did Everything Must Go by Manic Street Preachers.
Ooh, yeah.
And even if you don't listen to Manic Street Preachers, read their Wikipedia, because they had a lot of weird incidences. And we said this in the review, I think. I don't know. We're saying it now. If any album in the world is haunted, it's this one.
Yeah.
This one's just haunted.
It was.
It felt that way listening to it, but then the story makes it even worse. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Google it.
Wikipedia.
Woo. Then we did Folklore, Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah.
This is our first Taylor Swift album.
Yeah.
And it was exactly how everyone described it. It was all breakup songs, but none of them were really that bad.
No. It was not all breakup songs.
90%.
Some were about crazy rich women who had really cool houses that Taylor eventually bought. So that was good. I mean, you know. But no, some of it was actually really good.
Some of it was actually very good.
I can't say that it wasn't.
It felt like
kind of one-dimensional.
There was like 5 or 6 extra songs. It was a pretty long album.
Yeah, it was.
But if she had cut off a few, it would have been better.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that it was bad. Yeah.
It suffered from too many average songs.
Yeah. Then we did Mute Math by Mute Math. Very good album. Very, very, very good. They had a collaboration with 21 Pilots.
Very interesting dudes.
Yeah. Okay, Duke.
Oh, good. We're getting sound effects in the background.
Then we did AM by Arctic Monkeys. And we're going to get canceled for this, but it wasn't good.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. And I really wanted to like it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the final one of week 2, and the best album was Mute Math.
Yes.
Mute Math.
Yeah. Not very strong competition, but,
Not really. It's pretty weak.
For best of, it didn't have very much competition. Not that the other albums were bad, it just, they didn't stack up.
Yeah. On to week 3.
Week 3!
Week 3. It started with White Ladder by David Gray.
Oh, one of my favorite albums.
Then Talk 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 by the Psychedelic Furs.
Another one of my favorite albums, but you and I got into a big fight over that one.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did. Because you were saying that it sounded old. And I took offense to it.
You were having an internal fight then.
Okay, I guess it was. I guess it was all in my head.
I was trying to explain to him. I'm like, that does not mean it's a bad thing. I mean, Frank Sinatra sounds old, but people still hold him in the highest regard.
Well, yes, that's true.
Yeah, you wouldn't release it now.
Well, that's probably true.
Yeah. Then we did another album like that, Forbidden Fruit, Nina Simone.
Yeah. I thought that was really going to happen. I don't know. Maybe we just picked a bad album on that, because I like Nina Simone, but that album just wasn't, I guess, the Nina Simone I'm used to.
Yeah. We went on to Enema of the State, Blink-182.
Oh, God.
Another hot take. It was not that good.
No.
And as we said on DJ.Anvil, it sounded like a bunch of old dudes talking about how they're teenagers when they're not. They weren't saying it in a past tense, so it made it kind of awkward. Especially when they were like, yeah, I hate my dad and I hate women, and then the guy gets married the next year.
Yeah, and it felt that way. I mean, sometimes it's best not to know.
Yeah.
It's best not to know how they make the hot dog. Yeah, it's true though.
And then we went on to After Party by Adore Delano.
Yep.
Who is actually from kind of close to where we are, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not gonna dox us, but that's cool. Well, actually, you could look it up on Google. Fair enough. Then we went on to Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits.
One of my all-time favorite albums. I guess I got not
much to say.
Yeah, hey, r/stroke.
Then we went on to Red, Grey, Blue by Mel Parsons.
Yeah, our New Zealander.
Yeah. We did a few albums by her, and they've all done good.
Yeah, she's a great artist. Kind of not really known internationally.
Very indie.
Yeah, very indie. I only know of her because her music's featured heavily on a mystery show that I watched from New Zealand called Brokenwood Mysteries. I recommend Acorn if you want to expand your television viewing to
Not
England.
America.
Yeah, not America.
Not America.
Well, England, New Zealand. Do we got the funky lights on in here?
We do have the funky lights on.
I just noticed the funky lights are on.
And then the best album of the week was Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits.
Yeah. Made me happy because it's at least the second half of that album really aged well.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, the first half with I Want My MTV and that just a little bit dated, but I don't know. Overall, the album held up pretty nicely. Makes me happy. Yay!
Week 4.
On to week 4.
Week 4 started with The Doors. The Doors.
It started with with The Doors?
The Doors.
Yeah, that was another one of my favorites from back in the day.
We had a lot of those.
This is the end, my only friend, the end. It's a bit emo, wasn't it?
Your voice.
I'm glad I didn't say emu.
Emu. Then we went on
Doug.
To The Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd.
Guess what? Another one of my favorites.
Oh, crazy.
The stories I could tell you about that would creep you out for the rest of your life.
Oh, I'm not going to ask.
I could probably ruin that album for you.
Don't do that. Then we went on to the Dana Owens album by Queen Latifah.
Oh, yeah. Not as good as I remember, but the song Hard Time still is one of those top 20, top 30 type songs.
It was a jazzy album.
Yeah, it was
a departure of what she...
But it proved that she was more than just a legendary hip-hop artist. She had pipes, as they say in the biz.
It's weird how they make you prove even more than that. Like, oh, so you're one of those, like, top 10 people? Do better. It's like,
yeah. I think it came from the heart, though. I think that was the music that she grew up with.
That makes sense if it's more like a self-fulfillment.
It is, yes, yeah.
Then we went to Amused to Death by Roger Waters.
Ooh, guess what?
What?
One of my favorite albums.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love that album.
Then we went on to a very weird one. Little Joy by Little Joy. It's their only album. And it was described on Wikipedia as lo-fi reggae. And it did not sound like that at all.
No, it's kind of all over the place. And I think what really hurt me on that album was that there were moments of genius. And you just wish they would stay in that groove.
But then the next song was very different. Always.
Yeah.
Like, there was a song that was, like, sung in French, and it was like,
Yeah, it was a bit all over the place, and they had talent. I don't think they're still together.
No, well, they were all band members from previous bigger bands,
Yeah.
Then we did Peace of Mind by Iron Maiden.
Ooh!
What?
One of my favorite albums.
And then...
I got my way a lot this month.
The best album of the month, or the week... was Amused to Death of Roger Waters.
Yeah. That's still a very relevant album. It basically is a rock opera about man's destruction and sort of the glorification of war, which I sort of take exception at because he took some pot shots that I didn't think were necessary, but what he said about what we're doing as a society, as a human society, I think he was spot on because... Boy, that album was written some time ago before we really had smartphones, and I think it applies more now than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of an indictment of the culture we have built, especially, well, I would say around the world, really.
Yeah.
Because it's not like people are are just doing stupid stuff to get on the gram in the United States. They do it everywhere.
Yeah, anywhere that has access
Yeah.
to phones has people.
Yeah,
doing
I've seen
attention
some
seekers.
stupid stuff out of Mexico, India, England. I mean, you see some...
Anywhere.
Yeah, you
That's
see some
not a shot at
ridiculous-
anywhere.
No,
No
yeah.
matter where you live, you know there's stupid people. But on to the very short week 5.
Week 5?
Week 5, well, 3 days. It started with Bridge Over Troubled Water, Simon and Garfunkel. I always think it's Bridge Over Troubled Waters, but it is singular, and that surprised me.
Another great album. Simon and Garfunkel has, for better or worse, has held up. And I say worse because...
There's a lot of dark themes.
Yeah, but
Themes
then again...
that you would hope would have gotten fixed, or people would not be struggling with, but they are.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays it is easier to deal with some mental issues, but personally, I'm going to get on my soapbox. Medicine really isn't the solution. So I don't know if we've made any progress, or if you can make any progress, but this album will make you feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or at least not
Don't
alone.
take us for professional help, but yes, listen to the album. That's our professional help.
Yes, 4 out of 5 dentists recommend Simon and Garfunkel for mental health problems.
Then we go on to Kingston Trio at Large by the Kingston Trio.
Yeah, see, we were really dipping back into my history because I grew up on the Kingston Trio, Jimmy Rogers, Simon and Garfunkel, Neil Diamond.
You were not growing up on, though, Stains by Dwayne.
No, Dwayne, I'm pretty sure was not alive when I was first born.
No.
I think he was born like 40 years after I was born. How does you know I'm just starting to lose my marbles here? But that album, speaking of losing their marbles, it was all over the place.
It had a few songs that were a little bit... It was kind of like that rock rap that, yeah, you can imagine that in your brain. But
So-called new metal.
When he... No, it's not.
No?
No, it is not at all. Don't listen to
Well,
me.
rock and rap is new metal. N-U. Metal.
No, that is not new metal.
Yeah, it was.
No, not now.
Uh-huh.
It's not now.
Wiki it.
Well, it's not now.
Oh, it's not now.
No.
Okay.
It's not
I'm out
genre.
of touch.
But he had a few songs that were a little bit, held back. It was a little bit more just singing rather than the rap covered by a bunch of music. And it was a lot better. So for a debut album, it showed potential and it showed talent, but he needed to be held back a little.
I know how to use a phone book.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why we need that now, though.
I know. It's a useless talent to have, but it makes me feel relevant as an old person. I could also repair a VCR.
Oh, that's very cool. That sounded like you're very off track.
No,
yeah.
I mean, if I was on track, I would say, and now to the awards.
The awards. This is the part you're looking forward to, I hope. And the first award is the Longevity Award, who just so happens to go to the Best Album of Week 5, which I forgot to mention, Bridge Over Troubled Water, Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much all their music holds up, let's be honest.
Yeah, I think we covered that in the last segment. But
They as a group could just win it.
See, off-camera Duke agrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, off-mic Duke. Well, he's not off-mic now, is he? No, I'm glad. I so far have a perfect batting average when it comes to the music that was very important to me. And giving it over to you. Pink Floyd, Simon and Garfunkel, Kingston Trio a little bit, so, The Doors, and Chumbawamba.
Yes, don't do spoilers unless you
Yeah.
read it on Anvil, then you get all the spoilers.
That's right.
Then we go on to the funnest album, and it was After Party Adore Delana. That is a party album, so.
It's an after-party album.
Yeah, it was a little bit calmer.
Yeah.
So it was.
It was when you're done with dancing, and, you just got to wait for the E to come down so you can get an Uber home. You put on that album and just chill.
Then we did the Overachieving Award,
Ooh.
which went to Mute Math.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
we kind of picked it in a rush, and it was like an hour, so we were kind of like, we're not going to like it. But we really liked it. It got a 10, and it was one that we have listened to after.
Yes. And I think Duke agreed with us.
Mm-hmm. Then we went on to the most genre specific. So what album the least amount of people would like. You would have to like that genre to like it. And it was Forbidden Fruit, Nina Simone. It was just so of that time period.
Yeah.
That if you weren't a fan of that, you would just be like, this is so over the top.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just like people that, I guess you could say older people that like their music at that time, and they're like, new music is just so poppy and there's no soul in it or whatever. It's the opposite of that. Exact opposite, yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
Then we went on to our individual favorites.
Ooh.
Both mine and yours was A Muse of Death, Roger Waters.
Shey, look at that.
And then off-camera Amy's was White Ladder, David Gray.
Oh, yeah, because we went and saw him right before you were born.
Oh.
Back when we used to have a life.
Oh.
Well, I mean, her and I. Because that's what happens when you have kids. You have to surrender your life to them. Well, I don't mean that in a bad way. That's just the way it is. That's the honor of it. That's the Bushido code of parenting.
Then we went on to the most surprising album, which was also After Party, Adore Delano.
I was very surprised by that. It wasn't that I didn't think I would like it. It was just, like, it was such a vibe for, like, a specific period of time that you've never thought about. Like, what do you do after you've had a night out of dancing? You don't want to, like, change pace too much.
Otherwise, you'll just feel sick.
Yeah, I don't know if you feel sick, but...
Well, I mean, right after a concert, when you come home, if you immediately go to bed, you're going to wake up all groggy.
Are you?
Well, I mean, it's like having a busy day, then napping for 3 hours, and you're like, oh, shoot, I feel sick now.
Well,
Does that not how... Everyone complains about that. They say they nap for too long,
and gentlemen,
and then they get sick.
The award for the biggest tangent ever.
Well, that was that album.
That was that album.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps you from being sick. Mm-hmm. But we're not medical experts.
Then we went on to the best album for the masses. I didn't know where it was, so...
What was the best album for the masses?
Thriller, Michael Jackson.
Well, that's proven. Can't even argue with it. That album, I mean, it didn't even matter what genre you listened to. You were acquainted with that album. It was that big that you sort of would feel out of touch with the entire world if you didn't know at least a little bit something about that. And it played on MTV all the time. And
it still plays. I mean, no matter how old you are, I'm sure right now you have a Michael Jackson song stuck in your head now. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Then we went on to the most unique album.
Oh.
And it was Everything Must Go, Manic Street Preachers. It wins that award because it was haunted. I'm sticking by that. Whether you believe in that or not, this album's haunted.
Yeah, well, I mean, wiki the story on that one, and you'll see what we mean. Yeah.
Then we went on to the worst album, and it was Technology is a Dead Bird, Mars Argo. Yeah. It was just way too artsy. It felt like filler, sort of.
And I mean, you know, I love Chumbawamba. We both like Steam Powered Giraffe. I mean, it's not like artsy is something
inherently
we don't...
bad.
Yeah, it was just... It was
done very poorly. It was done with art first, music second.
Yeah, and she does. The singer had she has a good voice.
Yeah.
She does, but it was underutilized. It was drowned out, and
the guy involved is
a creep.
Yeah, so he was the downfall of it. She's perfect, but he's not. He's the opposite.
Nah, if you're a creeper, you'd probably like that album. It might even stop you from exploding. Minecraft reference. Look at that. I'm not so old.
And then the best album overall.
In my day, if you wanted to play Minecraft, you went out in your backyard and you chopped real stones. And then when you built stuff, it collapsed on you. I punched a lot of trees in my day, but that
explains a lot.
Yeah, blame it on my ADD, baby.
And the best album was A Muse of Death, Roger Waters.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down.
It got to many awards.
Yeah, I bring the lyrics, listen to that album, bring the lyrics up, and have Wikipedia up so you can look up some of the references. And it's a very good picture of what life was like around that time period. And pay attention to what he's saying because the title says it all. You know, we will be amused to death.
Well, hopefully you were not amused to death by this video, as it is over now.
Hopefully they were at least amused a little bit.
Yeah.
Like maybe just like a strained knee or something. But hopefully nobody died.
Yeah, that'd be quite concerning.
Yeah, that would be. That would change the whole tone of everything we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, August will continue the month or the year challenge thingy.
Oh yeah, looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess there's nothing left to say.
Except for
Likes,
subscribes.
subscribes. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.